Hi, welcome to Maverick and Dempsey's Rundown. We got another little episode for you. Now, we've been doing football the last two episodes. I mean, it feels like it's been a while because it's been a week and it's been two episodes, but I'm a little footballed out just from today. Also, we got more games to come, and so we can wait for more reactions. Um, but anyway, what I do want to talk about is something in pop culture, and it's going to be our first little foray into pop culture in this episode. I want to talk about the show that everyone is talking about, and it's actually the first show that everybody's been kind of trending on, and I actually finally checked out on Netflix, and it's called Cobra Kai. Now, I've always been interested in the Karate Kid, and I watched it when I was a kid, and had the toys and everything, and introduced it to Dempsey. I think a year or two ago, and she's seen the first one a few times, seen the second one once or twice, and I even showed her the next Karate Kid. I finally showed her the third one, and the third one, if you watch that, I can kind of forgotten a lot of it, but it tells you that they needed to make Cobra Kai pretty much to make up for that piece of crap. What was happening in part three? First of all, Daniel, who was never really considered some bad martial artist or anything, he showed up fat, and he was a fat guy in a flannel shirt and blue jeans, and he was like skinny fat. Like he wasn't like a big fat guy. He was that kind of flabby, skinny fat, and we didn't need to see our hero looking like that, did we? And now there was a new karate bad boy, and he just beat the snot out of Daniel the entire time. And it was like, Daniel, you're supposed to be a karate champion. You were a warrior. You went to Okinawa, and you fought another great warrior for the honor of your teacher. And now you're getting beat up by another karate guy, and at every single turn. So then you get conned into learning like a more brutal way of martial arts, and it doesn't really teach you enough because that bully keeps beating you up. So we kind of have a rehash of part one, when I thought you had overcome all this. I thought you were a champion. I thought you hit the Hill Valley champion, and now you're getting the snot beat out of you by another guy, and you're just chubby fat Daniel lying on the ground. Then there's the love interest. All right, you had Elizabeth Shue in the first one, knocked it out of the park. She played Allie, and it was very sweet, very very cool. And then you started part two just slamming her and burning her memory to the ground, where she left you for a football player, which I thought was kind of lame. But y'all wanted to get rid of her. And then you went to Japan, or Okinawa, sorry, and you had another little romance with someone whose name I can't remember off the top of my head right now. But then that didn't work out because she went to go do dance, ballet. She went to go do ballet, so she dumped you. So, I mean, at least she dumped you, and it wasn't so cruel. Anyway, so now there's a new girl, and this is going to be the new girl for you, right? No, she tells you she has a boyfriend. So y'all are just friends. So there is no romance. Y'all are just buddies, which I guess is fine, but do we really need that in the movie? Do we really need to... a budding buddy-mance, not a romance. And no, and I'm surprised she didn't just say, "Well, Daniel, you're fat, and you keep getting beat up by this spiky-haired guy, so I don't really want to date you." But anyway, so that didn't work out. So the romance wasn't good, the fight wasn't good. At the end of the movie, he basically gets the snot beat out of him, just like he did in the first one, and he won just because he got like a lucky shot. And similar to the first one, but it felt a little more lame this time. And like I said in the first one, he used the crane kick and he conquered Johnny. This time it's like he got a lucky shot with a guy who clearly beat the snot out of you at every step. So yeah, part three was horrible. Part three they needed to come back. They needed to come back and do a sequel, or do the reboot, retelling, whatever you want to call it. So the Cobra Kai series is great. I'm halfway through the first season. I'm the busy parent. There is no binge watching an entire season in one day or even one weekend. That doesn't happen. Me watching 2 episodes in the same day is me binge watching. But I'm halfway through the first season. I love it. I think it's great. Johnny William Zabka is fantastic. He still has that edge. He's politically incorrect, but it doesn't really hurt the character. There was the episode where he starts training the female. I don't train women, but he trains her and treats her like crap. Uses the dirty language, maybe calls her a name, picks on her a little bit, so he doesn't lose who he is. Where it's like, well, just isn't Johnny anymore, but he does show that he has heart. He's that tough guy with a heart of gold. And Daniel, even though some people want to make the joke that Daniel is the bad guy, he always was the bad guy. The crane kick was illegal. It's amazing that people not only did How I Met Your Mother basically create this series, but it also kind of laid the groundwork for the conspiracy theory that the entire time Daniel was the real bad guy, and Johnny was the good guy. Let's forget the abuse he showed Allie on the beach. We're gonna call him the good guy, but he's a good guy now. I mean, he's in his 50s now, and now he seems to be a good guy. Like I said, he's still got the edge, but definitely a good guy. They're both good guys. One's a good family man. One is just trying his best. The show is brilliant. It's funny. It's cool. It's got action. It's got heroics in it. It's got slapstick. I mean, it's got everything. Kind of hits all the notches. I can watch it no matter what mood I'm in. I even showed it to her, and it didn't become immediately one of her favorites, but she does like it. It's one that I can watch when she's not here, when she's at school or something, and she's not upset that she missed one episode, but she does like to sit back, kick back, and watch with me, so that's good. So that's my review on Cobra Kai. What do you think of Cobra Kai? Do you want to give your opinion at all?
I think it's really good. I think Daniel's kids should be more nicer, though.
His kids are terrible. They're horrible. They should be like the kids on The Big Show, right?
Yeah.
Your other favorite Netflix show.
And that's one of the things I want to talk about.
Uh-oh. What's going on?
I've actually got two things.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Shoot.
So, first of all, do not watch the new Mulan movie. Terrible. I've heard things. Terrible.
Yeah, Mulan, we'll talk about that real quick. You took everything that was great about the first one and kind of just dumped all over it. Now Mulan is not a female who trains and so hard and really works at it and pushes and uses all her heart and all her grit to become a great warrior, better than all the men. Now she's like a Jedi Knight that has midichlorians in her blood, so she's already a superstar. So she all of a sudden, a Supergirl, Captain Marvel, or something like that, instead of somebody who just works really hard to get it. Also, we don't like to get political, but should we just forget about all the horrible things going on in China right now, and that the evil Chinese governments with concentration camps and killing of Muslims and things like that, and they kind of help this film get made. It kind of puts a dark cloud over everything. I mean, it's kind of like the
Dark cloud of rain.
Pretty much. I mean, when you hear something horrible like that, it's like, well, let me show my daughter, the great Mulan hero. Let's try to ignore all the horrible things going on in China right now. If we're gonna do that, why not just watch the NBA? Oh, inside joke there for the sports fans. All right. Also, The Big Show. Going back to that's a great show on Netflix that has been canceled. It's kind of one of the casualties of COVID. And you know what? Y'all should all start watching it. Start watching it. Start streaming it. Let Netflix find out. Oh wait, now they're digging it. Another one that's been canceled because of COVID is I'm Sorry. It's a True TV on cable network show that went to Netflix. Got 2 seasons on there. It's brilliant. If you like funny female comedians, it is absolutely amazing. It's the dirtiest family show there is, so you might want to put the kids to bed. But it's hilarious. And Andrea Savage is the writer and the star. In my opinion, she's one of the funniest people on the face of the earth, regardless of sex. She's absolutely brilliant. Is there anything else?
No.
All right, then we got to play some board games, some Simpson Clue, or some song games, or something like that. And we got to go because it's starting to get late. On the next episode, we'll recap some of the football games and talk about what happened.
I'll be more crazy.
And she'll continue to talk over me whenever she wants. She's the real star anyway. But we'll talk about how Joe Burrow was let down in Cincinnati from an amazing comeback by a kicker. It's always the kicker. And Tom Brady and Drew Brees dueled back and forth. for the first game for Tom Brady with a new team, not even getting to have a preseason, he looked great. There were obviously some miscues, but he looked great. Drew Brees proved he still has it too. He looked like a star out there. Not throwing for as many yards, but he did what he needed to do to get the game done. Are they game managers now, or are they still the superstars of old? We don't know yet. We'll have to go through into the season, but regardless, I think there's still two of the top 5 greatest quarterbacks in the league right now. But certainly of all time, even top 10 certainly. But anyway, that's enough for now, and we'll get back to more of the football and sports next time. Hope you enjoyed our look into Netflix and Cobra Kai and Big Show, and tune in next time.